I posted about this yesterday while it was unfolding. So breaking news, exchange of fire on the Lebanese-Israeli border, according to the Zionist occupation forces, and Israel's Channel 12 News. So these tensions follow Israel's illegal airstrike in Damascus, which killed Hezbollah member Ali Jawad last week. So the Zionists, they went to the UN, they issued a statement saying that, oh, we didn't mean to get him. Oh, it was an accident, because they're scared of Hezbollah. Because Hezbollah said they're going to retaliate. They're like, yo, you killed one of ours, we're going to retaliate. So all week, they've been on edge, the Israelis. Because they know you don't fuck around with Hezbollah. They're scared because they got their asses kicked in 2000 when they had to leave South Lebanon after occupying it illegally for 15 years. They got their asses kicked again in 2006 when they invaded Lebanon illegally. They know that this isn't a game. So they've been on edge all week, beefing up their Iron Dome system, right? Sending reinforcements up to the border with Lebanon. And look what else happened. They crashed a drone inside of Lebanon a few days ago. One of their soldiers died as well because he overturned a Jeep, apparently. 3 of them were wounded. I mean, they're clearly on edge. And then a firefight breaks out, apparently. Turns out there was no firefight. You had an update. Hezbollah released a statement confirming that no military operation took place. Apparently, the Zionist occupation forces are so on edge that they crap their pants, shelling residences and Shabab farms. Okay, so this region over here, Mazarea Shabab, okay, this is on the border, essentially next to the Golan Heights, which are also being illegally occupied by the Zionists, okay? And this is where the event took place. So Israel starts shelling. Let me show you footage of that. They just start shelling the place.
However, this has been denied by the Iranian-backed Shiite group who...
They're just randomly bombing people. It's absolutely ridiculous. They had a firefight with themselves, man. This is not the first time this happens. Listen, let me make something very clear, because I don't think this is something that people in the West understand. Hezbollah are not scared of Israel. They really don't give a shit. If they say there was no operation, there was no operation. They're not scared. They're not going to deny that they tried to do something. And I don't think it would have been something tiny like that, because the official statement was that, oh, Hezbollah tried to send in like 4 or 5 fighters and get in without us. No. Nothing happened. These idiots in the Zionist occupation force are so on edge. They know that was a screw up when they killed Ali Jawad inside of Syria in Damascus. They know Hezbollah is going to make them pay for that. So they've been on edge all week, and they probably just started firing at each other. And this is not the first time this happens. They've had friendly fire incidents before. I mean, just look at this one, man. I mean, this is last year, okay? You had an IDF officer killed. Friendly fire incident over here. And you know what they also did last year? They staged an evacuation of wounded troops because Hezbollah had fired rockets, and because they were scared of more attacks, they made a fake video of them evacuating a soldier. Like, oh, please, no more. Oh, look, this guy's wounded. All fake, all propaganda. And this whole event yesterday, there's no footage. Conveniently, there's no footage. Let me tell you something. Every time they screw up, just like when they killed Iyad Halaq, right? No footage all of a sudden, even though the place is swarming with cameras and live video feeds. Oh, they got footage. It's just, this didn't happen. This never took place. And you got these really smart ones on Twitter saying, meet Private S, an IDF soldier in the intelligence corps. She was the one who spotted the Hezbollah terror cell that infiltrated from Lebanon into Israel yesterday. Her alertness saved lives. You know what I think she spotted? What I think she spotted? I think she spotted one of these dummies that they leave lying around, which is not a new concept. I mean, this is an old thing from World War II. See, the IDF has been known to use mannequins in this fashion, placing them in bunkers or snipers' nests. And they just park them on the Lebanese border. It's not a new tactic, right? So I think on D-Day, the British, they dropped a bunch of dummy paratroopers into occupied France because they wanted to fool the Germans into thinking the invasion is going to come up to Pas-de-Calais instead of Normandy. So they dropped these dummy paratroopers nicknamed Rupert. It just as a diversion tactic. This is nothing new. And I think they mistook other IDF for Hezbollah, and it's so embarrassing that they can't even say that they had a friendly fire incident. So they're trying to cover it up and say it was Hezbollah. And conveniently, there's no camera footage. There's no security camera footage, as usual, whenever they screw up, whenever they murder people, whenever they have something to hide, even though they have live feeds of everything. How convenient. Yes, I'm sure. Once again, man, Hezbollah, they're not scared. If there was an operation, they would say that there was an operation. And it wouldn't have been something petty like that, especially after they killed someone from Hezbollah. And, I would also add to that, you have to consider the internal situation inside of the Zionist occupation right now. It's not just that they are creating tensions once again with Lebanon. Netanyahu has a lot to deal with, right? So the guy is being charged with corruption. He has this ongoing trial, right? In case you forgot. When is he going back to court? I think it's December where he has to go back to court. Yeah. So in the last days, you've had thousands of people showing up to his house protesting. Yeah. And on top of it, another wave of coronavirus coming back. I mean, what a convenient timing, right? All of a sudden. Oh no. Look over there. We got those baddies, big baddies from Hezbollah trying to creep in, even though there's no proof. Oh, I guess we got to go deal with that. What convenient timing. Man, you got to understand something. They're really good at propaganda, the Zionist occupation. I mean, their entire existence is based off of propaganda, right? Their entire existence. They claim to be a legitimate state. They claim to be the only democracy in the Middle East. They're the biggest violator of international law in the Middle East. They are continuously, day in, day out, killing Palestinians, denying them statehood, denying them food, water, electricity. Their entire existence is propaganda, right? It's a military occupation. It's a colonialist settler project. So this is nothing new. And they know that they screwed up. So they're on edge, and they're going to stay on edge. And Netanyahu, on top of that, as I said, the corruption trial to deal with, and coronavirus, and you have about 1 million unemployed. I don't remember the exact figures, but you have a very high unemployment rate, which you're seeing because of the pandemic, but also because of his terrible handling. I mean, the guy is as corrupt as they get, right? So what convenient timing. Just saying. What a joke, man. What a joke. I'm pretty sure they have not forgotten their lessons from 2000 and 2006. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Which is why they went out of their way to make that statement at the UN to warn Syria and Lebanon after they committed the aggression, after they violated their sovereignty, after they murdered people. That's why you have all these people on edge, all these accidents taking place within the span of a few days. It's pathetic, man. Once again, note the double standard, how Netanyahu goes and makes a statement earlier today saying that, Lebanon and Syria better watch out because they're responsible for any attacks that take place. What? You literally just shelled a fucking village in Lebanon for no reason. You just shelled a bunch of civilians. What is that? You're not responsible for that. You literally conducted an illegal airstrike last week for the 500th time inside of Syria. You're not responsible for that. Once again, this double standard of like how the Zionists are allowed to murder people. They're allowed to violate your sovereignty. They're allowed to enter your borders. They're allowed to shell you and kill you. But if you dare fucking say anything, unreal, I swear.